Good morning, guys. I hope everyone's doing good. It's Friday morning. I hope you guys have a good weekend after today and after your schoolwork. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are doing lesson 3. Our objective for today is I can develop an understanding of equivalent ratios by using tape diagrams. Okay, a little bit review there. Remember when we were making tables? We were making tables that looked like this, and we had 2 to 3 for the ratio 2 to 3, and then we would just count up. Okay, all of these are equivalent ratios, okay, because they're on the same table. They're both being multiplied. They're all multiples of 2 to 3. Okay, now we're going to be using tape diagrams today to help us visualize those ratios and help us solve some problems. Okay, so let's move on. So exercise 2 tells us Channy and Mel are using ribbon to decorate a project in their art class. The ratio of the length of Channy's ribbon to the length of Mel's ribbon is 7 to 3. Draw a tape diagram to represent this ratio. Okay, so our ratio is 7 to 3. Channy to Mel. Okay, so I'm just going to do S to M. All right, they want us to make a tape diagram. So please take out a sheet of paper and draw this tape diagram. I'm going to label mine. Okay? Channy's is going to be 7 units long. Okay? And Mel's is going to be 3 units long. Okay? So, if any problem asks you to draw a tape diagram to represent a specific ratio, this is how you would do it. Okay, this shows us 7 to 3 like we have here, and that's the ratio of ribbon from Channy to Mel. Okay, let's continue. So Channy and Mel are using ribbon, okay, and the ratio of the length of Channy's ribbon to the length of Mel's ribbon is 7 to 3. Okay, quickly on your papers, I want you to write this table, and I want you to fill it out using the ratio 7 to 3. Okay? You don't have to label it. You can just label Channy's and Mel's. Okay? And then fill in the 3 rows. Pause the video and take a few minutes to do that. Okay, so you should have paused the video and completed this table on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so obviously the first row is going to be 7 to 3. Okay? So the next row is going to be 14 to 6 and 21 to 9. Okay? I hope you guys all got that. Okay, we're counting up by 7s for Channy, and for Mel, we were counting up by 3s. Okay? Let's move on. So, looking at this, what does each unit on the tape diagram represent? Okay? We're looking at this table. Okay, it said Channy's length of ribbon in inches. Okay, so each unit represents 1 inch. Okay? Number 2 says, what if each unit on the tape diagram represents 1 inch? What are the lengths of the ribbon? Obviously 7 inches right now and 3 inches. What is the ratio? 7 to 3. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky. Okay, number 4 says, what if each unit on the tape diagram represents 2 meters? What are the lengths of the ribbon? How did you find that? So if each of these units, okay, represents 2 meters, what are the new lengths? Well, all we have to do is plug in 2 to each of these units, and we can figure that out. So now, adding those up, Channing would be 14 meters, and Mel would be 6 meters. Okay, and what is the new ratio? 14 to 6. Now, letter 6 tells us What if each unit represents 3 inches? What are the lengths of the ribbon? Why? So we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to plug in 3 in our tape diagram. Okay? So now, Chani, 3 times 7 would be 21. Okay? And Mel would be 9. Okay, and what is the new ratio? It would be 21 to 9. Okay? Hopefully you're understanding this. If you don't, play back the video and try to go through it slowly. Okay? So looking at these 3, take some time. What do these 3 ratios have in common? Okay, we used all 3 of these. We started off with the tape diagram of 7 to 3. Then we plugged in 2's in each unit. Then we plugged in 3's in each unit. Okay, so looking at the bottom, mathematicians call these ratios equivalent. Can you guys say equivalent? Good. So all of these have the same value. Okay, these are all telling us that for every 7 units of something, of ribbon, okay, that Chani has, Mel is going to have 3 units. Okay, whether it's inches, meters, whatever. Okay, all of these are equivalent. And if you were to make a table like we've done before, it would look just like this. Okay, so now we know that these are equivalent. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Mason and Laney ran laps to train for the long distance running team. The ratio of number of laps Mason ran to the number of laps Laney ran was 2 to 3. If Mason ran 4 miles, how far did Laney run? Draw a tape diagram to demonstrate how you found the answer. Okay, so we know that our ratio is 2 to 3. Okay, so I need to make a tape diagram and label it, and that's Mason to Laney. So Mason is going to have 2 units, okay, and Laney is going to have 3 units. Okay, so letter A is asking us, if Mason ran 4 miles, how far did Laney run? Draw a tape diagram and demonstrate how you found your answer. So these 2 units have to equal 4 miles, okay, because that's how much Mason ran. So what do you guys think is going to go in each of these units? If you said 2, you are correct. Okay, because 4 divided by 2 units is 2. So in each unit there's going to be 2 miles. So for Laney there has to be 2 miles in each unit. So how far did Laney run? She ran 6 miles. And this is our demonstration, okay, to how we found that answer. We plugged in 2 for each unit. Okay, let's move on. Now, this one's a little bit tricky, but I want you to try it out on your own. Okay, so I want you to make a tape diagram. Again, label it Mason and Laney. Okay, Mason is 2, Laney's 3, our ratio is 2 to 3. Now, if Laney ran 930 meters, how far did Mason run? So, these 3 units have to equal 930 meters. Okay, so try to figure this out. Pause the video, take a few minutes. Alright guys, you should have paused the video, taken a few minutes to try to figure this out. Hopefully you came to some type of conclusion. Okay, so Laney has 3 units and she ran 930 meters. So I need to figure out what's going to go in each unit to figure out how much Mason ran. Okay, so I am going to do 930 divided by 3. Okay, because there's 3 units and she ran 930 meters total. So 3 goes into 9 3 times, okay, and 3 goes into 3 once, and our zeros left over. So 310 is going to go in each unit. Okay, so now we have to do the same thing to Mason and add 310 meters in each of his units, but he only has 2. So 310 plus 310 is going to equal 620 meters. And that's how far he ran with the ratio of 2 to 3. Okay? So what ratios can we say are equivalent to 2 to 3? Okay, well obviously we can say 4 miles to 6 miles, which is 4 to 6. And the one we just did was 620 meters to 930 meters, so 620 to 930. Okay, and we can also just make a table, okay, to find some more. 4 to 6, 6 to 9, 8 to 12, okay, and so on and so forth. So those are how we find equivalent ratios using tape diagrams. Okay? Looking at this, Josie took a long multiple choice end of the year vocabulary test. The ratio of the number of problems Josie got incorrect to the number of problems she got correct is 2 to 9. So on a separate piece of paper, I want you to make a tape diagram, okay, that shows 2 to 9. Okay. Okay, so if Josie missed 8 questions, how many did she get correct? Draw a tape diagram to demonstrate how you found that answer. Well, the ratio of incorrect to correct was 2 to 9. So if this equals 8, then we have to divide that into 2 units. So 4 is going to go in each unit, and 4 is going to go in each of these 9 units. So 4 times 9 is 36. So she got 36 correct. Okay. Now, letter B says, if Josie missed 20 questions, how many did she get correct? Try to figure this one out on your own using the tape diagram. Pause the video and take some time. Okay, you should have paused your video. If Josie missed 20 questions, we have to put 10 units in each of her 2 units for the ones she missed. Okay, so we're going to add 10 in each of her 9. 10 times 9 equals 90. Okay? What ratios can we say are equivalent to 2 to 9? So using this, we can say 8 to 36 and 20 to 90. What's another possible ratio? Well, you can just make a table. Okay? 2 to 9. What's the next row? 4 to 18. That's 1. What's the next row? 8 to 36. That's 1. Okay? Let's move on. Sorry, this was 27. Okay? How did we find these numbers? We can multiply or we can create a table. Either way. Okay, lesson summary. Ratios are equivalent if there is a non-zero number that can be multiplied by both quantities in one ratio to equal the corresponding quantities in the second ratio. Okay, so if you can find a matching number that both of them got multiplied by, then they are equivalent. Okay, hopefully you have no trouble doing this and using tape diagrams. Okay, I'm going to send you a problem set that looks like this. Number 1 says, what are 2 ratios that are equivalent to 1 to 1? Okay, just make a table. Number 2 asks the same thing, but it's 3 to 11. Make a table. I want 2 ratios for each. Okay, the ratio of the width of the rectangle to the height of the rectangle is blank to blank. Okay, this is the width, and this is the height. Okay. Letter B just tells us if each square in the grid has a length of 8 millimeters, what is the width and the height of the rectangle? So here, like we did on the tape diagrams, we're just plugging in 8 to the width and to the height. And tell me what the new lengths of each width and height is. Okay? If you have any questions, comment in Google Classroom. Contact me. Don't hesitate to do so. Have a great weekend and enjoy your day. See you guys later.